The president of Senegal have just completed the long-awaited visit in the Sahel Alliance, Burkina Faso and Mali, and also the long-awaited meeting with the Pan-African leaders of Mali and Burkina Faso, Colonel Assimi Goïta and President or Captain Ibrahim Traore. Now, what are the highlights of this meeting is that he emphasizes in both statements of the meeting with this president that he is not a mediator of ECOWAS. That's what he said, not me. I am not a mediator of ECOWAS. That's what President Diomaye of Fayes said. Hello, I am Mahlet, Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent. Now, let's dive into it. And, I'm going to share with you the video where he made the speech or the statement or / the briefing together with this presidents, with Colonel Assimi Goïta when he was in Bamako, and with Captain Ibrahim Traore when he was in Ouagadougou. And that says, his statement says a volume, whatever you want to say, because I'm going to share it with you in a second, and we're going to dissect into it, what that means. A lot of things have been raised. I will try to raise number one, just so it will be easy for you to follow. There is a disassociation from ECOWAS, meaning Senegal. You see also, the interest, that interest or aspiration to strengthen the bilateral relation. You see that he kind of got the message, and where he recognized the leadership and the resilience of these two people while they are suffering. There is also some kind of a hopeful statement before he left with regards to the AES and ECOWAS leaders. So let's go into it, and I will dissect it for you. But before that, please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and give it a like if you like what we bring you here, and share the video with others. You can help us by doing that, and I have just shared our PayPal account here, so if you want to donate to us, you can donate through this PayPal account. Other than that, I think there are ways of where you can do in YouTube. I don't know whether it is a Cash App or other things. Okay, now let's go to this. Now, this is a speech he made when he is in Burkina Faso. Okay, so I'm gonna let you listen, and then I will give my analysis, pause it, and then continue. I hope it will not disturb your follow-up.
I will always rectify and say that I am not a mediator of the ECOWAS, not at all. I am not mandated by any ECOWAS body. I have never served in any ECOWAS meeting. I was recently elected. I would like to thank my brother and friend.
So that was the highlight. That's why they put it in the beginning. He said, I think that in Mali, and also in some way he said it here in Burkina Faso. Now look at it, it says a volume. Let me just keep that, my reflection, at the end. But now let's just dissect the speech.
President Ibrahim Traore, for the warm and fraternal welcome that was reserved for me, as well as my delegation, and for his voice, to thank the entire Burkinabe people for this welcome. It is a visit placed under the sign of friendship, of fraternity, but it is also a work visit that I came to carry out. I also came to say thank you to President Traore and the Burkinabe people for hastening a delegation to Dakar during my speech. It was an honor given to me and to the entire Senegalese people on this solemn occasion. But above all, I came to reaffirm my commitment and the commitment of Senegal to the Burkina Faso brotherly people, and invite them so that together we can work to reaffirm the relations between the two countries on the commercial level,
So now there you see there are two things. How it starts the video, I'm not a mediator. You see that now Senegal has disassociated, however you translate this, he has disassociated from ECOWAS, because what we know before is that Nana Akufo-Addo and Bola Tinubu has told him directly that he is, their hope that he will work out these young leaders, that we're happy, and hopefully he will solve the problem what we have between the AES, their departure, and then to bring them back. Okay, in a way, this is like mandating him. So he said, I am not a mediator, I'm not mandated by anyone. He knows exactly what that means, so he made it clear. Number two, he say, I am impressed by the warm welcome. Look at, President Captain Ibrahim Traore came out, all with his officials. He has been, introducing him. All the smile, and the people have been supporting. The ordinary citizens have came out to support Diomaye Faye. He knows he's seen as a brother. He knows he's the only link. They want him to join the AES. Now, for whatever reason Senegal is playing, for now, that's not going to happen, but he is impressed by all this. Now, the second point he just touch is now the strengthening of the brotherly people. That's what the brotherly people is. He's not alienating or anything as part of. You cannot say that this man is really echoing the ECOWAS message. Okay, for me it says a volume. Now let's continue.
On the level of exchanges, on the level of integration and possible circulation between the two countries, through the Malian stage for a better circulation of goods and people in the sense of the realization of African integration, which is very important to us. I also came to tell him all my solidarity and my fraternity with the Burkina brotherly people in the difficult period they are going through, but also to tell him my admiration for the valiance of this people, their combativeness and their resilience.
I stop it there because now this speaks a volume. First of all, he's admiring them, valuing them for the combativeness, for the resilience of these people that they have, under all these circumstances, the suffering. What is the suffering? He's not saying it, but he knows it is the sanction that's imposed by ECOWAS. It's the sanction that's imposed by the so-called international organizations. It's a sanction that's imposed by European Union. It's a sanction imposed by their own neighbors. Again, I repeat it, ECOWAS through the long hand of France and other Western countries. And it's the sanction of the African Union. They are all alienated by, but he admired them. They are a hero. They survived that. That means he doesn't have anything against it. Instead, he is applauding them.
And I know that the dignity and the honor they have shown the Burkinabe people with their leadership.
That's it. He might not say it Ibrahim Traore directly, but he said he recognized also he gave a recognition to the leadership, the resilience of the leadership ever since this revolution happened. For the past, when did he came to power? September 2022, or he was sworn, actually took power officially, Ibrahim Traore, October 2022. It's about 18 or 19 months, and to live under sanction and to break away all those steps, processes they have taken, it means a lot. That recognition did not come out of nothing.
Will allow very quickly, with the active solidarity of countries like Senegal and other African countries, to triumph and face the challenges that delay the takeoff of all African countries.
And that means, for me, I translate it as it sounds for me, because now it says their resilience also will give a hope to Senegal, to be in solidarity and to triumph in face of challenges. They know that Is Senegal right now facing a challenge? No, not yet. It's not happening. They are not sanctioned, but he knows which path they are going to follow. So it gives a hope what they are doing. Instead, he's not saying, oh, okay, you are suffering. Why you don't join? Why you don't do this and that, so that this suffering will go, will go away. He is applauding them, and he said it gives up, it will allow the Senegal and Senegalese people to be in solidarity with you and to triumph, whatever challenges we are facing. The man is telling us. For me, I think we just better wait and see. Let's continue.
Especially in the Sahel. We have common challenges. Today, the security challenge is the most prevalent, the challenge of irregular migration, the challenge of the fight against the trafficking of human beings and illicit substances. And it is only in the consultation, the exchanges of information, the joint operations that we will succeed together to take over these modern times that are plaguing many countries today, and that delay, as I said earlier, the takeoff of these countries. I will leave Burkina Faso very comforted with the openness of mind and the availability of.
Now, I stop it there because there's a lot of recognition in it, okay? He recognized the common challenges that they are facing, that is irregular immigration, human trafficking, the trafficking of illegal substances. All those are common challenges. Now, common challenges indirectly, then there is a common goal. There's a common destiny for these countries. Now, to have that a common goal or a common destiny, these countries have to be in solidarity. So he is saying that these challenges are what we both face. And if the challenges are common and cross-bordering, then you have to find a common goal or a common solution for this, okay? So by that, it kind of tells that they have a common goal or a common destiny. That's how it sounds for me. So let's continue. Now, he was saying he's confident when he leave Burkina Faso. Why he's saying that? Let's hear.
President Ibrahim Traore. Burkina Faso very comforted with the openness of mind and the availability of President Ibrahim Traore, but above all, with his availability to strengthen with us the Dakar-Ouaga axis to further develop exchanges and cooperation. We have also addressed the subject of the ECOWAS, as I have done in the countries.
Okay, just something I need to fix.
Through the Malian stage for a better circulation of goods and people in the sense of the realization, but also to tell him my admiration for the valiance of this people. Allow very quickly with the active solidarity of countries like Senegal and other African countries, illicit substances. I will leave Burkina Faso very comforted with the openness of mind and the availability of President Ibrahim Traore, but above all, with his availability to strengthen with us the Dakar-Ouaga axis to further develop exchanges and cooperation.
Okay, now I stop it there. Now that last point was that now he said his openness, meaning, there's some flexibility. That's what he's saying. The availability, they did not reject him. They have welcomed him. Whether they agree or not, they have talked. So there is he admired him for the availability of President or Captain Ibrahim Traore, and then leaving an access open door for those for Dakar and Ouagadougou relation or communication, whatever you call it. Now he goes to the next stage. He said we also address the ECOWAS issue. Now what he's saying about ECOWAS issue, let's hear it.
We have also addressed the subject of the ECOWAS, as I have done in the countries I have visited so far. I understand today that the positions are a little frozen, but I see in each of these positions, or the leaders of these positions, an opening window that can allow a thread to be knotted, whether held by dialogue. I am always used to saying we see it today at the level of the ECOWAS, that the doors of dialogue are certainly closed, but that we must not close the windows and pull the curtains, that we must leave space for us to go, not to argue about what is necessary, but to empty what is in us, but above all, to allow countries that are a little further on the physical level, theaters of operation linked to insecurity, to understand what the countries that live directly on the ground are living, and to have more compassion, to feel more concerned, because there is always a starting point. But when we see today the expansion, we know that no country is spared, neither directly nor indirectly. And that is why I also take advantage of these visits of friendships and work that are particularly centered on bilateral cooperation. But I take this opportunity to address these questions and to say that I am available to continue to work on the part of others, so that there are places of convergence that allow us to discuss what does not work and to see how to change what does not work. Because we have the historical responsibility and the legacy of our founding fathers in relation to this whole, to fight within the ECOWAS and together, so that the ECOWAS remains what it should never have ceased to be. That is, an integration body that has been cited as an example that we must permanentize, that we must strengthen, and that we must protect against all the violence that goes in the direction of detouring the ECOWAS from its goal of African integration and from what is its nature, namely the ECOWAS of the peoples, and that it continues to be this, and that it continues above all to be a framework where we will address together the challenges that I mentioned earlier. The ECOWAS of the peoples, and that it continues above all to be a framework.
Now, I want you to ask, this question yourself. Now, he said that it's not, he understands that now that, both on ECOWAS and the Sahel Alliance, the leadership, it's a bit frozen. So he knows the ECOWAS where it stands, because he have talked all those 9 countries, and he knows their stance when it comes to the Sahel Alliance. Now, he talked also now these 2 Sahel Alliance states, and he knows where they stand. They will not join back ECOWAS. So that's now he is telling us whatever they talked tete-a-tete, meaning, as they call it in French, or a private meeting or head-to-head meeting in English, you can say it. So it's not working, okay? Whatever he was mandated for, it's not working. And he said clearly he denied or whatever, but he declared he's not a mediator. So that is a disassociation from ECOWAS. And he said, he told us now the situation, these people are not, or these countries are not going back to ECOWAS. Good for them. This is exactly what we want them, because ECOWAS is still a Trojan horse where France and the West continue on the back of it. And so as long as the hand of France is visible there, as long as these countries continue, to entertain France, to give them a military base, which they have, and other things, the Sahel states should not go back. They have gone so far, and they have paid so much for them to go back. So he told us now this mediation did not work. That is the thing. That's what he recognizes indirectly. The other thing is that also he talked about ECOWAS, we cannot leave it. And this is what, we have to stand for what our ancestors have done. I mean, ECOWAS is not the result of our ancestors. ECOWAS is the result of France to continue its neo-colonization, and that's how they gave them the CFA, okay? Or how the continuity, the guarantee for the continuity of Franc-Afrique. So that is what it is. I mean, what our ancestors tried actually to do is something else. They were tried to create actually Burkina Faso, Mali, and Senegal. These three countries, their answer, I'm sure he must have meant that. If not, he must be corrected. There was an alliance or a confederation that they wanted to create, but later on Senegal kind of, went away, and very symbolic in a way that now Senegal refuses to leave ECOWAS. This one I will tell you later on another video, while I analyze his visit in Mali and the statement he made in Mali with Colonel Assimi Goïta. So those are the things that he, kind of raised in this speech, in this statement in Burkina Faso. So for me, it's, all in all, just to remind you, there was a disassociation. The highlights for this statement in Burkina Faso is that disassociation from ECOWAS by saying, I'm not a mediator, I'm not mandated by anyone. And then aspiration and wanting that togetherness with Burkina Faso and Mali by saying that, I'm here for a bilateral relationship to strengthen, to continue the trade, to tackle common challenges. That means to have common goal and common destination, and recognition of the leadership and the people of Burkina Faso. That means also he's admiring their resilience. He's not telling them to go back or why you do this or not. Instead, they got an applause from President Diomaye Fayes, or that means from Senegal. There is also hopeful. He is hopeful. That's how he left, positive. And I tell you exactly why I say this. I'm going to show you a short clip why I say this. So all in all, it was really a positive meeting that showed us all what we have been doubting about Diomaye Faye. In fact, these people, Diomaye Faye and his guy, Osman Sonko, are with the Sahel Alliance. This is my translation. This is my interpretation of this whole gesture and statement, okay? If I am wrong, I am happy to be corrected, but I want an evidence, you know what I mean? And another thing, aside from this, what you have to look at, you have seen how he was, each of the officials of Burkina Faso, how they were greeting him, and Captain Ibrahim Traore introducing him, how the people were smiling, and the way, he was welcomed by the people of Burkina Faso. No one else in that neighborhood, in that region, has recognized. It's both really beneficial. It's a mutual benefit for both of them that, no one else has recognized them ever since this military leadership came to the Sahel Alliance. This is the first one officially being visited by a Sahel Alliance country, an ECOWAS country, and recognizing them and admiring them for what they have done. So, in a way that as much as Diomaye Faye is trying to say that he's not leaving ECOWAS, and we want to play it fair, but as much as he tries that, it is the match he's telling us that he is with the Sahel Alliance. You cannot translate this in any way else, okay? Now, let me just show you a short clip of Diomaye Faye and Captain Ibrahim Traore, okay? This is really interesting. I think it's this one. Yeah. Now,
President Faye's statement and the subsequent car ride with President Traore underscore a pivotal moment in West African regional politics. The car ride signifies unity and solidarity between the two leaders, setting a powerful example for other member states.
Now, look, there are two officials, two presidents. They are not living by a different car. Right after that statement, they left within the same car. what happened in that car remains in that car. It's not for any media consumption. But from what I told you now, from what I analyzed for you for now, you can make a conclusion, out of it. Now, let me just share some more video of this, some more footage of this.
The willingness to work on both sides within ECOWAS and the Sahel Alliance signals a commitment to addressing complexity.
Look how he is cheered by the people. These are the Burkina Faso people. Look at him.
Senegal and Burkina Faso sets a precedent for other member states, potentially fostering a greater sense of solidarity and shared purpose within both ECOWAS.
I really want you to pay attention how they greet each other here. When now he's departing, Diomaye is leaving.
And the Sahel Alliance. By aligning the objectives and efforts of ECOWAS and the Sahel Alliance, the two bodies can develop more integrated and coherent policy frameworks, maximizing the impact of their initiatives and avoiding duplication of effort.
Look at that. Look at that gesture. Anyone who is obsessed like me with for me, body language, I love words. I can play, I can interpret. I come from a literature background, and I know exactly how people are playing with words, but also body language says a lot. And please watch this.
Impact of their initiatives and avoiding duplication of efforts. The economic.
Look at that smile. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that. Oh my God. That's it, huh? Okay. Now, that's what I wanted to say. So this is what makes me to say that now we know that Diomaye Faye, sooner or later, Senegal will officially disassociate itself from ECOWAS, and they know this path is not something for them. If you want to break away from your colonial past, then ECOWAS is not it. This is not the way you do your struggle. This is not the way you do your journey. But since, as they say, they come to power now democratically, so they want to do things, and the French government is watching. In fact, yesterday when I report to you, they expressed their concern that how come he visits these countries, for God's sake, they kicked out the French military, they kicked out the French ambassador, they said that French is not our language anymore, although they are still using it, but Burkina Faso is doing a lot. I mean, they have advanced, including Niger as well. So they have paid a lot of sacrifice. So they are not going back to ECOWAS. They are on a next level, not the African Union, not ECOWAS, not anyone. Globally, the Pan-African. These are this is an example. If you want to have an African unity, even the African Union should take an example from this. This is how you do it. Hopefully that they will stay in power. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this, my analysis? You can agree with me, you can disagree with me, but I will be happy, to know, to read what your comments. Okay, I'll just go through Suleiman Nije. He is precisely taking his time to discuss with all the leaders in the countries to involve his mission first, then he will put all options in the table and decide. Yeah, exactly. Hell for unrepentant. I feel he's a traitor and must not be trusted. Well, I say otherwise, my brother or my sister. But he's getting lots of Western bribe. The most important thing is to avoid Western dirty games. Exactly. Black geopolitics. He didn't disassociate from me. He disassociated from ES. He's a traitor. Well, I say otherwise. Still, Africa should learn from the young captain. He's Africa new true hope. But he said he's not a mediator. That means, he's not officially designated by the ECOWAS. And from what he said, if you listen to each statement, I didn't hear anything against these people. He praised them. He admired them. Sankofa ECOWAS is a fool's tool for the West. Fayes seems to be a wolf in a sheep clothing. Well, we will see. But thank you again for tuning in. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us further, please donate to our PayPal account. It will help us to be here more often. Thanks again. And I will see you on the next one where I analyze his statement in Mali. Stay tuned. I will do that in an hour time. Thank you very much.